Okay, everybody, welcome back again. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web. I'm your host, Jeremiah Fox, here with my guest, Professor Karel Pravec of Silver Fox Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Northern New Jersey. Once again, no relation, but so you pointed out that there is a bloodline. There's connective fiber.
Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu family, Renzo Gracie.
Yes. So, in the last section, you were talking about your YouTube presence, but backing it up a little bit and talking about being versatile and the things you've had to do, one, to be a better Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, also transitioning from finance to being a martial arts instructor and owning your own schools. You mentioned, being capitalized. I'm sure your years in finance gave you a little insight into that. But now, as your schools have progressed and your experience as a teacher, you started to incorporate the use of digital technology for outreach and messaging, and right now it's playing a pretty big role in your existence, correct?
Yes, I would have to say that my digital technology reach out is reluctant.
I get that. I understand that.
I basically, my digital presence is for two things: is to basically make people more aware and point them about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And then second one is probably for some poor dog or cat that needs adoption, and I share that. There is so much negativity, so much argument. People take things personally. Some people play trolls where they try to almost elicit reactions. I just read an article in Forbes before I came here that there's artificial intelligence that can literally take still photographs or video footage, and basically almost make anything happen, where it looks like this person said this and you have it on live TV or something. It's, to some extent, it's distressing. So I try to have a balanced approach to it, where I try to stay away from a lot of stuff, whether it's controversial or not. If I know what to say and try to make somebody feel better, I will. If I don't know what to say, keep my mouth shut.
Right.
I think sometimes people feel compelled to say something, and there's a saying, having your mouth shut is, speaking might be silver, but having your mouth shut sometimes is gold. I forget exactly how the saying is. But anyways, yes, I am on social media, but reluctantly. And like you said, I am interested in helping people progress in jiu-jitsu, and occasionally help a poor dog or a cat find a new home. That's about it.
And your YouTube videos are live. That's not easy. That's not easy to get. Not everybody gets to do YouTube live. So that's an accomplishment in and of itself.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we basically started it. The idea was to go live because, if it's live, it can be interactive. So I can answer somebody's questions, and that's the best questions and reactions. And we got a lot of very positive feedback from people literally all over the world saying, Fox, this has literally made my days when, they either were quarantined, they couldn't train.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually got people that don't even, initially we kind of have a little bit of fun, just kind of screwing around for the first minute or two with, some stupid bit with Enrique. But, I have fun training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I think people can sense it. I think, it's funny because a lot of people's presence online and is very different from the person they are in real life. I think what you see with me is what you get. I try to basically add, like, this is how I run my class. And people have also said, like, I feel like I'm in a jiu-jitsu class. And that's like the best compliment I could have gotten, because that was the whole idea is, guys, in the absence of many of people, including my students, being able to go to a real class, this is what I want to give them in the meantime.
Yeah.
So live is, you gotta, whatever, you might have gotten a phone call or something that brings you down. You got to get that out of your head. because, I'm there for the people to try to, teach them a little bit of technique and have a little bit of fun on the mats. And that's every time I think that's everybody's mission, that when they go to train, that should be their mission.
Yes, absolutely. I know that it's not the most ideal situation for jujitsu training. Like, it's kind of frowned upon, right, in the jujitsu community to study techniques online and video. Like, you should be in a class, you should be in a dojo, you should be with people. It's also about community and bringing people together.
This is an unusual time,
Yes. And it's been stress for me. I mean, as a restaurant owner as well, I want people to come to my place. I want them to eat. And it really took me, I was not into social media at all either. I started this show about just under a year ago, and that really kind of thrust me into it. But I've learned a lot along the way, and I'm glad I did. And digital media is becoming more front and center for me. But it was the same. I was like, you should come to my restaurant and eat. I don't want to show you pictures of it. I don't want to show you videos of it. I want you to come and enjoy it. But right now, it's been my connective tissue to people, because people are not walking around. Most people are just calling and having us deliver. And it's been a form of communication, just like what you've been doing. Yeah. And people are like, oh, thank you. Like, I needed to see that. It's almost like they need to see those signs of their previous life to know that, like for me, I mean, I work every day. I'm out in the street every day. I haven't had an afternoon off since this all went down, but a lot of people got to just stay at home, and they don't really get to see what's happening. And when you show that to them, it's like, okay, the world still exists. And I feel like that's a very martial arts thing too, that you're the one taking those first steps and not being afraid to, having that confidence. That definitely, I would have burned my places down. I think I told you that the other day. If I didn't have Professor Karel's messages constantly playing in my head, it would have been fires. It would have been fires for sure.
Yeah, we try to, it's a bit of normalcy. It's not the same as what I really want. I'm very much looking forward to getting back on the mats with my students. And on Sundays we go out, have tacos at a place nearby, and we just gotta, shoot the breeze and talk about training and stuff, have a little fun, and then get ready for the week. I have actually a pretty big open mat on Sunday. So, but I'm looking forward to that very much, to get on the road. I've had to cancel a lot of seminars all over the world in the next couple months, but I'm looking forward to that normalcy. But number one is just getting back on the mats with my students. But until that happens, at least this is something that's, it has to suffice for now.
So in addition to your schools, you also do seminars, and you wrote a book as well, correct?
Yeah, book is an overstatement, because I don't like to write. I don't consider myself very well spoken. And I wrote the book with a lot of pictures. So that's how I got around the writing part. But basically I didn't intend to. People told me, hey, Fox, you should write a book. You should write a book. I was like, yeah. I don't like to write. But I got tired of hearing guys posting on social media or forums that they're going to turn 30 next year or this year, and that their body is broken down, and that, they're going to quit jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I said, I wanted to say to them, I wanted to slap the guy, say, wake the fuck up. I don't know if you need to bleep that.
No. You can say what you want.
And maybe you're just not training right. Maybe training methods or you're not focused on running into that wall repeatedly until you break through that wall. Did you ever consider they can go around the wall? You can go over the wall. You can dig under the wall. There's other ways. So that's what inspired me to write it, because I really didn't want to do it. But it's got a lot of pictures, so I didn't have to write so much. But it's an instructional book. It's called Fluid BJJ. It's on Amazon, so anybody interested can pick it up.
So you've got a diverse little thing happening around jiu-jitsu that way, where you're not solely reliant, but mainly it sounds like mainly reliant on the schools, but you also
some income on some of the things. The bulk of my reliance.
Yeah.
Basically, all my at the end of the day, everything that I do, I want that to come back to the school. That is the core of my existence right now. As far as the business aspect or financial aspect, that's basically where everything I want, anything that I do ultimately, when I do seminars, people, that I do it for, literally around the world, when they travel to the US, not necessarily, it's easy to not navigate around New York City, but, to come to Jersey suburbs is not easy, but they come to my school to train, and ultimately my students benefit from that influx. And any, I teach camps and seminars in Europe and Costa Rica and Italy and Czech and Germany. So it's in Canada and so forth. So it's just basically more of a way for me to spread the message about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I think sometimes people don't understand, like one of the things that I want to convey in the role with the Fox is, this is my game. This is what works for me. If you look at me, anything that works for me will work for anybody else just as well. But maybe this is not your style of game. Understand, I'm like whatever cuisine you want to choose. You go to an Italian restaurant, you're going to have Italian food. You go to a Japanese restaurant, you're going to have Japanese. This is my style. Maybe you could pick up some techniques, pick up some philosophy that may work for you, even though your style is different. But if you really very technique centric, you don't want to try to force moves. You want to really almost play this as a human chess. I'm one of the guys for you, not the sole guy, but I'm one of the guys for you. So that's sort of like everything else I do helps convey that message and put it out into the world, whether it's digital or real.
Right. All right, we're gonna take one more quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk about what going forward looks like in terms of your school and jiu-jitsu and what's happening in the States. Okay, everybody, we'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web.